Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And we got to talk about the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are a team that a couple of years ago we were all saying they could win a championship, right? Feels like not too long ago we were saying how Miami could potentially win a championship. And how times have changed. This is a team that is a fucking mess. I'm just going to call it what it is. It's a mess. They have a lot of work to do in the offseason if they're going to try to salvage this roster. Or try to make it whatever they thought it was going to be. A lot of guys on their team this year have underperformed. They have bad contracts. Really, the only thing they're good at is playing defense. And even that only lasts so long if you're crummy at offense. And looking at this team, I can't help but think to myself, like, they need to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're gonna keep the championship hopes of Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo alive, they really need to move some people this offseason. And one of the main guys is Kyle Lowry. And I hate to say it, but I don't know who's going to take a 36-year-old Kyle Lowry. I just don't know who's going to take him. Maybe at the trade deadline next year they get to move him. Or maybe I'm assuming they're going to have to maybe buy him out or something at some point. But Kyle Lowry is 36 years old. Okay, he is playing 32 minutes a game. He has played 48 games this year, started 44 of them. He is shooting abysmal from the field, 40% from the field, 34% from three. The free throw is still 85%, which is great. But this is a dude who's averaging like basically 12 points a game and 5 assists and 4 rebounds a game, I guess. Or no, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and like 12 points a game for them. And he's expected at 36 years old to make $29 million next year. I mean, to be honest with you, he plays 50 games for you, I'd be a little shocked. Kyle Lowry used to be a good player. He's not anymore. You look at their roster, I don't know what it is about their offense, but literally nobody on their roster can hit a fucking three this year. Duncan Robinson has all but fallen out of the rotation, and he is another guy with a really shitty contract. I mean, Duncan Robinson, wasn't long ago, it was last year. Okay, Duncan Robinson was shooting 39% from the field and 37% from three on 10 points a game and 83% from the free throw line. This year, he's only played in 35 games. And if I'm correct, they gave him that big contract extension last offseason. So he got this huge extension for last year. And he's locked in until 2025, 2026. They have two really bad contracts in Kyle Lowry, which, yeah, Kyle Lowry's, actually, I can't say that. Duncan Robinson might be easier to move than Kyle Lowry's contract. Maybe some team would be willing to take a shot on Duncan Robinson, considering he's a shooter, but he's a complete liability outside of just shooting threes. Kyle Lowry is a guy that is just old at this point. Victor Oladipo has played 38 games for you this year, but in the 2 years prior, he only played 12 games for you, and he's got a player option worth $9 million this upcoming season, which I'm assuming he's going to pick up this offseason because I don't think anybody's going to pay him $9 million for 1 year. It feels so weird saying that, considering when Victor Oladipo was on the Pacers, I really wanted them to bring him back, and then he bet on himself and lost. So, I don't know, I guess Pacers fans really dodged a bullet there. But, even the things that this team has tried to do to, take this team over the top have simply not worked. It seems like every year Miami has their guy that they get out of, a Division III player or an undrafted guy that backpacks their team to playing better or something like that. A guy that just comes off the bench and really surprises everybody in the NBA. They got none of that this year. Gabe Vincent played like shit this year. 39% from the field, 32% from three. Even Kevin Love, after Kevin Love got bought out, they signed him. Kevin Love has played like shit for this team. 38% from the field, 28% from three. He actually got worse somehow, some way, on 8 and 6.5 a game. Max Strus has fallen off a cliff this year. 40% from the field, 33% from three. I don't watch a lot of the Miami Heat. I really don't, mostly because I feel like we kind of know them at this point. And I think that's part of the problem. I think part of the problem is the league has figured them out. You watch, I think Rusty Buckets put it perfectly in his video where it's like, you watch 5 minutes worth of fucking Miami Heat basketball and you know what the offensive strategy is, okay? But it's just the idea, like, there's not a lot of off-ball movement. If there is off-ball movement, there's not a lot of it that really wows you or is like, wow, this guy really came off that screen really fast. It's not like these guys are getting super crazy open jump shots either. So, like, really if I were Miami, what I'd be trying to do in the offseason is move Kyle Lowry, or if you have to, buy him out, get somebody. Duncan Robinson's a guy I'd be trying to trade. If Kevin Love ends up walking in the offseason, fine, let Kevin Love walk. But all these guys, I don't know what more they can do to really make this roster better. Caleb Martin played very well for them. 46% from the field, 37% from three, 80% from the free throw line on 10 a game, 10 and 5, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Tyler Hero, 20 points per game, 43% from the field, but 37% from three. You'll live with it. 92% from the free throw line's very good. Bam Adebayo played well. Jimmy Butler played all right for Jimmy Butler's standards. 53% from the field, 33% from three, 85% from the free throw line on 22 a game. You can't really get mad about that. 2 steals a game. So Jimmy Butler's still playing at a decent level, but Jimmy Butler only played 58 games this year so far, and Tyler Hero's only played 59. So it's like really, like, outside of their starting 5, this team suffers. The bench unit suffers. And it's very possible that, Duncan Robinson's just having a down year, or, Max Strus is just having a down year. But, like, I think to myself, like, this is a team that, like, their 3 main guys that they have on their roster that are really hurting them the most are the guys that are basically getting paid the most. Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and even Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo is making $9 million next year if he picks up his player option, which... Honestly, Victor Oladipo going away and declining the player option would probably be a good thing for Miami, but it's just the idea he's probably not going to do that. I mean, Victor Oladipo played like shit this year too. 39% from the field, 31% from three, 76% from the free throw line on 10 points a game. So, like, he averaged 1.5 steals a game, but if there was ever a team that should maybe take a shot on, like, Jonathan Isaac, it's probably Miami. They're a very good defensive team, but, like, they could at least let him sit. But they really need help off the bench. They're a team that needs 3 shooting. And honestly, the idea that Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Kevin Love, and Gabe Vincent are all shooting like shit from 3. Like, their whole team just shoots like shit from 3. Even Nikola Jovic, in the time that he's played, shooting 22% from 3. He's only played 15 games this year. But, like, this is a team that I just look at and I'm like, there's got to be a reason they're not hitting threes. Either they're taking contested threes or they're simply just not getting open for threes. And, with Duncan Robinson not really playing, I feel like most of the time in the times that I have watched Miami Heat games, I've seen them take a lot of contested shots. So I don't know if it's just a matter of maybe they need a coaching change. I don't want to recommend that because Eric Spoelstra is a pretty decent coach, but who knows? Maybe the league has figured Eric Spoelstra out. I don't know, but it's just the idea. It's pretty sad that, like, defensively they're pretty good, but offensively, I mean, in field goals made, they're dead last. In field goals attempted, they're 25th. In 2-pointers, they're 27th. In 2-pointers attempted, they're 23rd. In total rebounding, like, this is a team that just gets absolutely destroyed in fucking rebounding. They're 28th. They're 24th in assists. They're 30th in blocks. They're 30th in points. I mean, this is a team that offensively is struggling really bad. And, they're probably not going to have any money in free agency to make a huge splash with Duncan Robinson still on their roster and Kyle Lowry, but I don't know, man. I really don't know what more they can do. I mean, they have Cody Zeller. Udonis Haslem is retiring, but Udonis Haslem has been kind of a non-factor for them. He's 42 years old. I mean, what more do you want? What do you want him to actually do, other than be like your team's vet? Dwayne Dedman has not played great. I mean, 49% from the field's all right, but 5 points a game or 5.5 a game, and 3.5 rebounds isn't anything to call home about. You know, I'd like to see Nikola Jovic maybe get some more minutes next year. I'm sure he will, but this team needs a lot of help. I like Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin's maybe the one bright spot for this team off the bench, but that's about where the train stops. So they really need bench depth. They really need to, I think, get themselves, like, honestly, one guy, it's going to sound crazy, but, like, one guy that I think could really help this team out is a guy like TJ McConnell from the Pacers. Like, I know Pacers fans have been advocating for Andrew Nembhard to be the starting backup point guard or you know, something like that, be more of a primary ball handler, and I don't really know what Miami has that we would want. I don't think they have anything that we want. But it's just the idea, like, TJ McConnell's a guy, like, maybe you give us a draft pick or something, we'll give you TJ McConnell. But, like, this is a team that could benefit from, like, a guy like TJ McConnell, a guy who could maybe, you know, run around and open some shit up for you, maybe get somebody an open fucking three-point shot. I don't know, but they really need some help, and it's not outside of the realm to say that, like, you know, if I'm a Miami Heat fan right now, like, blowing it all up, I guess is like a thought, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, yeah, Jimmy Butler is not getting any younger. You know, you could maybe trade Jimmy Butler for a younger player, a more promising player. I don't know what that looks like. I mean, maybe if you're feeling saucy, if Denver's feeling nice, maybe you trade Jimmy Butler for a guy like Michael Porter Jr., get yourself some youth. You give them a savvy vet. You get yourself Michael Porter Jr., who's only, he's 24 years old, played 55 games this year, and is shooting crazy good efficiency-wise. I mean, 49% from the field, 41% from three, 81% from the free throw line on 17 a game. You know, that's I think a possibility. You know, he's 6'10". You put him next to Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, you know, you get a little younger. Granted, he has an insane contract, but it's just the idea they really need some help. They need to get younger. They need to get some youth. They need bench depth. They need to get some shooters open. There's a lot here that needs to be done. And, you know, honestly, if, like I said, if you're a Miami Heat fan and, you know, the conversations are going around about blowing it up, it's not outside the realm of possibility, I don't think. Jimmy Butler's still good enough where you could get decent trade value for him. You know, he hasn't fallen off a cliff, but... And I get it, you might not want to trade Jimmy Butler. If I was a Miami Heat fan, I wouldn't want to trade Jimmy Butler either. But Jimmy Butler is how old? Jimmy Butler is 33. He's still relatively young. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not old in NBA years, but he's getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you give him another 2 or 3 years, and he's going to be in that position. And on top of it, man, just saying this, okay? Jimmy Butler with the Nuggets would be... Like, it would make the Nuggets a contender. Like, I think they would actually win the championship if they traded for Jimmy Butler. But it's just the idea, like, I don't think this roster is good enough to win a championship as it's currently constructed. They would really need to come up with, like, a crazy offseason for me to change my mind. And really the question needs to be asked, do you want to waste another year of Jimmy Butler's prime? And, you know... potentially risk decreasing his value more next year, or trade him this offseason and get a younger guy at the small forward position, like a Michael Porter Jr., or, you know, maybe you send him to the Celtics. Maybe the Celtics will send you Jaylen Brown or somebody. I don't know what that looks like, but it's just the idea, like, if I'm Miami, I'm considering trading Jimmy Butler to maybe get more youth. Especially right now at the current point in time, especially when, like, I don't know, for all I know, Pat Riley could go all in and pull off some miraculous trades this offseason and put what they currently have back together and make it better, but I feel like the odds of that happening are very low. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like, helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.